What's up YouTube? How are you doing today? I'm Chana D, the Techno Dad, and in this video I'm going to go through this year's 4K Blu-ray players and help you choose the right one. And we're going to get into it right after the jump. And I'm back. If you're new to the channel, my name is Chana and I love watching movies, especially in the highest possible quality I can. And if you want to learn about 4K TVs and 4K Blu-ray players, you've come to the right place and you should consider subscribing. Alright everyone, Black Friday 2018 is upon us and the sales are already starting. If you haven't seen my video on what to look for when buying a 4K TV this holiday season, check out the link in the description or at the card up top. Now this guide on which 4K Blu-ray player to buy will be based on on what TV you're planning to get this holiday season, and especially by budget. So I guess the big question is, why get a dedicated 4K player? Simply put, if you're looking for the highest quality 4K content, it's going to be on a 4K UHD Blu-ray disc. Sorry, it just is. Now if you're planning to buy or rent 4K Blu-rays, you're going to want a player that will have little to no issues and play as many discs as possible. If you want to know where I rent 4K Blu-ray discs from, check out my review of 4kbluerayforyou.com. Again, link is going to be in the description and I'll put a card up top to that one. It's a great service and it's got great customer service too, so check it out. Now I went ahead and purchased the following players this year: the LG UBK90, the Sony Udp X700, the Cambridge Audio Cx Uhd, the Panasonic DP-UB820, and the Pioneer Udp Lx 500. I'll put a link to a playlist so you guys can check out the individual videos I made for these players, both in the description and with a card up top. Now if you're wondering about the Xbox One X, I did buy a couple of those this year for sure. If you've seen my rant video, the update video, you know I have a whole bunch of those. And they're not really on the list because I don't consider that a dedicated 4K player. Another thing I want to say at the beginning is the more you pay for your 4K player, the better it will be. And that's just the way things go. Alright, so let's get started off the bat with budget range 4K players. That will be the LG UBK90 and the Sony UBP X700. Both of these players cost $200 and both support HDR10 and Dolby Vision. The Sony is a bit strange where you have to actually turn Dolby Vision on when you're playing a 4K Blu-ray with Dolby Vision and then turn it off when you're not using Dolby Vision. And when you turn on Dolby Vision, you lose 3D. Not a big deal for some, but it does need to be mentioned. Now if your 4K TV supports Dolby Vision like a TCL, a Vizio, or an LG like LCD TV, the LG UBK90 is a good option. However, the UBK90 does not support Dolby Vision Profile 5, which is what you need for Sony 4K TVs. So if you have a Sony TV that supports Dolby Vision via the HDMI input, you're going to have to buy the Sony X700 player or one of the higher end players. Now with these budget players you get a basic remote, nothing fancy. And in my experience with these players, I've had no issues with the LG UBK90, but I did have some random freezing with the Sony X700. Others have reported the same thing, along with loud spinning disc noise from the Sony. But in this budget range, and electronics in general, why MMV? You know what I mean? Now if you have a Samsung TV, you might want to go with the Samsung 4K player. The last time I bought a Samsung player was last year, and it was the M9500. Now when I plugged that into a budget LG 4K TV, I got strange orange colors, so I wouldn't recommend mixing a Samsung player with other TV brands. So if you have a Samsung 4K TV, grab a Samsung player, the M9500, and go for it. Alright, let's move on to the mid-range players. Actually, hold on a second, I need a sip. Alright, now that I've done that, let's move on to mid-range players. So coming in at $499 is the Panasonic UB820. Now this would be the player I recommend for everyone. Even if you bought a budget 4K TV, this player will give you superior picture quality over the LG and the Sony player, and I feel like it will last longer than those two as well. The UB820 supports HDR10, HDR10 Plus, and Dolby Vision. And yes, before you ask, that does include Dolby Vision Profile number 5 for supporting Dolby Vision for Sony 4K TVs. Now just above this player is the Cambridge Audio Cx Uhd coming in at $699, but since this is a clone of the Oppo UDP 203, it also has been discontinued. I still have it and it's great, But good news for you Cx Uhd owners though, I did hear Cambridge Audio is working on an HDR10 Plus update for the Cx Uhd. That's pretty cool. Alright, next up is the premium category. And in this is the new Pioneer Udp Lx 500 coming in at a cool $1,000. It's one expensive 4K player. And if you're asking yourself, what is it about this player, that it's got over the rest? The first is build quality. Second is video processing, and a high quality DAC for 2-channel music listening. The Lx 500 also supports SACD, DVD audio, and AVC HD. So if you're looking for a 4K player that supports different types of disc, this might be the player for you. It has a lot of cool features, and you really do get the feeling that this is a premium player. The only thing I really don't like about this player, and it's just the one thing, is when I'm using a USB thumb drive to play music, the folders are not displayed in alphabetical order. I know it's not huge, but it's super annoying. I mean, I'm just trying to put on some Cardi B, and it should be close to the top because it's C's. But it's like way the hell down there in the J's. One time it was down by the Z's, and I was just like, what is going on? Very strange. I don't know what's up with that, but Pioneer I think should fix that for $1,000. Don't you? There was another player in the premium category I was planning on buying, which was the Panasonic UB9000. It was supposed to be released last month in October, but it wasn't. It was pushed back till February 2019. Now this one will have the same video processing and HDR support as the UB820, but it has 2 high quality DACs with a pair of balanced XLR outputs for 2-channel listening. Now unlike the Pioneer, the Panasonic UB9000 is not a universal disc player, so it will not play SACDs or DVD audio discs. And just to let you guys know, there is an ultra premium player on the market, but I don't think it's released in the United States as of the shooting of this video. It's the Panasonic Udp Lx 800, and it's going for £2,200 in the UK. Now this 4K player is aimed at audiophiles and is positioned to compete with the Oppo UDP 205. Now if you're wondering why someone would pay so much money for these, it's because of music listening. The internal DACs are the main part of the equation. I found a chart online that compares the DACs on these premium players, and this is what we find. As you can see, the Oppo UDP 205 with its dual 8-channel ESS Saber 9038 Pro still reigns supreme with 140 decibels of dynamic range. The only one that comes close is the new Pioneer LX 800. The Oppo 205 is currently going for between $2,600 and $4,000 on eBay. Well, there they are everyone. Those are all the 4K Blu-ray players for 2018, and I would definitely recommend getting a player that suits your TV. And if you want a player that's good and it's going to last, I would definitely recommend the Panasonic UB820 for most of you. Now it's $499, but if you find a great deal for Black Friday or holiday shopping this year, I would jump on it. $400, $450 is a great price for that player. Now if you wanted to spend more and get a premium player, then all means go ahead and do so. And if you're in the budget range and you can only afford $300, then go back to the beginning and where I explain which one the LG works with and which one the Sony works with, and pick up one of those. Now if you guys have any questions about these 4K players or anything else, hit me up down in the comments below or on whichever social media you like to use the most. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. Go ahead, smash that like button if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel using the button in the middle of your screen. Once again, my name is Chx Uhd. I am the Techno Dan. I'll see you next time.